Hi, my name low quality content. I recommend you this class because versatile. You must pick this class for starter, unless you are controller user bad when come into first person shooter. Blast Archer. The role to provide support. The support includes recovery type and buff or debuff type. Buffs and debuffs will increase damage entire party. Recovery of HP and status abnormalities contributes to party survival rate. If you are unintentionally targeted, please refer to the following. Move past teammate, Aegis Fighter. Move across the center of the enemy group. In both cases, you can remove the target from yourself and at the same time make it easier to support the next step. Once the enemy is gathered, it's time to show off the true power. Use the following two skills to increase the damage party member. Dust Force. Twin Flash. First up is Dust Force. Dust Force is a type of skill that is used by specifying an area to charge and release. Observe the movements Aegis Fighter or Heavy Smasher that gather the enemy. It makes me wonder, where are you trying to gather the enemies? Next is Twin Flash. This is a type of skill that is used by targeting a target. The problem is that the effect is centered on the first enemy hit. What does that mean? For example, let's say you're targeting a large enemy like Doggerman. However, it is troublesome if there are other small enemies between your character and the target enemy. If you release it as is, the effect will occur on that small enemy. Make it a habit to check whether the distance between the target enemy and your character is clear. If you can keep the effects of these two skills intact, you can say that the bow has largely fulfilled its role. However, there are still things that can be done. For example, Ground Break. Ground Break gives a small amount of flinch to enemies within the area. It is beneficial because it has the effect of making it difficult for enemies to scatter. Important to frequently check the HP gauge of your party members. When your HP decreases to a certain extent, support it with recovery skills. Blast Archer also plays an important role in recovering from abnormal conditions. Depending on the mission, there may be status abnormalities or attribute damage. Use the refresh area, your contribution to the party will increase. Arrow Rush, normal attack. A skill that shoots arrows continuously. Among Blast Archer's skills. Starting with grade 3, if you input the direction before setting up the first hit, the attack will change. Grade 4 Earth attribute resistance down, small, 12%. Can overlap with the spellcaster's all attribute resistance down, small, 20%. Evasion attack. Cure arrow, cooldown 20 seconds. Recovery power is influenced by mental strength and intelligence. Since these do not contribute much to attack performance, it is best to consider how to allocate the status according to the purpose. The amount of recovery will also vary greatly depending on the level of BC gauge filling, LV.1 to LV.3. BC gauge fills up through attacks. So be sure to participate in attacks as well. If you lock onto an enemy and use it, you can recover the HP of the party member that is attached to it. Cure arrow does not activate while holding down the right click. And it is possible to cancel cure arrow itself by jumping or evading in that state. Tactical skill. Strike arrow, cooldown 12 seconds. Grade 1 pure just strong shooting. Grade 2 you can charge from here. This skill allows you to move and jump while charging. Basically better to charge and aim for a weak attack. If charging is interrupted, the damage produced in that time will be 0. Grade 3 it is possible to charge in 2 stages, and if a full charge hits a weak point, it will cause a considerable amount of single-shot damage. Alpha, charge time increases by approximately 20%, but power increases by 30%. Handling becomes a little worse, but the power is increased even when non-charged. So it is also possible to use non-charged shots. Beta, charge time is shortened, making it easier to hit a full charge. Basically, beta is probably easier to use. Charge level 2, a cross-shaped effect will appear. When charge level 3, it becomes even bigger. Stampede arrow, cooldown 13 seconds. Grade 1 fires 4 bullets. Grade 2 the interval is shortened from 13 seconds to 10 seconds. Grade 3 the number of bullets increases to 6 and the power increases. Alpha poison duration becomes 7 seconds and the number of poison damage increases. Beta can now deal small area damage upon impact. The explosion also hits the enemy. Lethal shower, cooldown 10 seconds. Alpha shortens the charging time, making it easier to handle. Perhaps because it has the effect of raining arrows. The attack range in the upward direction and it can also hit demi-dragons when floating. Grade 1. It can attack in a wide range, but its power is quite lacking. It has a certain number of hits, so if you can get it involved properly, you can aim for a chain bonus. Grade 2. Charge becomes possible. Grade 3. Two-stage charging is possible. First charge is a little long, but second charge is fast. Alpha the charging time, which was a major bottleneck, has been shortened about 75%, making it much easier to use. Beta the attack range is reduced to the same level as ground break grade 2. But the power is increased 30%. Hunter spirit, cooldown 30 seconds, duration 10 seconds. Grade 1. If you haven't learned healing arrow yet, cure arrow is your only means of recovery other than medicine. So you may be able to recover by using this skill to fill up the gauge more easily. Grade 2. Duration effect increased. Grade 3. The amount of gauge increase. Grade 3 Alpha. The cure arrow's effective range expands. Making it easier to use, cure arrow itself has a 20-second cooldown. Grade 3 Beta. When activated, grants yourself a large movement speed increase for 45 seconds. It is used not only to assist in maneuvering during battle, but also to shorten travel time during battle area. Large movement speed increase, 30%, is the same speed as normal movement when riding a mount. Ground break, cooldown 25 seconds, duration effect 10 seconds. Because the attack range is relative to the ground. Not hit enemies that float in the air, such as skyfish. With short attack intervals. It is worth mentioning that it can stop opponents who can flinch. Effect. Movement speed reduction is applied only on the first hit of each enemy. Dust force, cooldown 18 seconds, duration 6 seconds. Grade 1. It is difficult to use at this point if it has a small range. Grade 2. The duration is extended to about 10 seconds, so the actual cooldown is 8 seconds. Grade 3. Charge increases the range, the power does not change even if it is charged. Alpha this is where you really shine. Attribute resistance value down small has a powerful effect of increasing damage by approximately 20%. Greatly increasing damage output of the entire party. This debuff is similar to the debuff that is applied on the third hit of a spellcaster's normal attack. And if applied at the same time, the effect will be added, total attribute damage increased by 40%. However, the maximum attribute resistance reduction with debuffs is 50% in total. Beta each hit will give the enemy a large movement speed reduction, making it difficult to escape from the area. However, because the effect of Alpha is too strong, this method is rarely adopted. However, it may be used in missions with special conditions such as score attacks. Hypnoblast, cooldown 25 seconds. Sleep is resisted by enemies in the same way as other status ailments. If the enemy not have resistance, it will definitely go to sleep the first time. But after that, its resistance will increase for 60 seconds and there is a chance that it will be resisted. If you repeating this skill during the resistance period, the resistance will further increase for 60 seconds. And monster become immune. Battle Imagine Geni Urania ability, has sleep success rate plus 25%. Which can increase the sleep success rate from the second time onwards. However, if you penetrate an enemy that is currently immune and put it to sleep, the effect will only last for 1 second. Shockwave, cooldown 12 seconds. Since you can aim for great damage by penetrating multiple targets, you can use it more efficiently by manually aiming. Let's throw it at dense enemies, or the enemies you collect with your ultimate skill. Alpha is strengthened damage, and beta does not improve the damage, but the power of the shockwave increases and the radius of the shockwave increases by about 30%. Doing it by charged, you can move or adjust the aim while holding it like a strike arrow. Healing arrow, cooldown 30 seconds. A recovery skill that creates area that recovers the moment it is touched. Compared to the class action cure arrow, it recovers more, does not depend on the BC gauge, and has a longer area duration, but the area range smaller. As long as it's in the field, it's a target even if it's outside of the party. Starting with grade 3, the range will be slightly expanded by charging, and the amount of recovery will also increase by approximately 34%. About 5 people receive the effect, the recovery area will disappear. Twin Flash, cooldown 20 seconds, duration 16 seconds. The effect size of buffs is moderate, but the effect size of debuffs is modest. Alpha has a larger field upon impact, improving usability. If you shoot while locking on an enemy, it is easier to hit enemies. In addition, you can move faster while attacking. Resonance Shot, cooldown 15 seconds. A skill spreads accumulated attribute values to the surrounding area. Although it says surroundings, the hit enemy itself is also included in the target. If you shoot after accumulating a certain amount of attribute value, there is an upper limit to the attribute accumulation value that can be spread. And in grade 3, the upper limit is reached when 500 or more is accumulated. If you use grade 3, when burst finish, filling memory gauge will accumulate to level 4 in one shot. Grade 3 beta targets status abnormalities, making it possible to spread Stampede's poison, Hypnoblast sleep, and other classes stuns and binds. Only status abnormalities, such as poison and sleep, can be spread, and debuffs such as movement speed reduction are not included. For example, if 10 seconds have passed since sleep, effect time 15 seconds, has been added to an enemy, remaining sleep time 5 seconds, sleep will last for 15 seconds. Refresh area, cooldown 30 seconds. Support skill creates an area centered around you that resets status abnormalities party members only. Skills can take care of various attributes. It can remove attribute status abnormalities and prevent attribute bursts by resetting accumulated values. Unlike other recovery skills, it cannot be placed at a long distance. Alpha status abnormalities, such as poison, can be removed, and in beta continuous recovery can be granted. Abnormal status refers to things like poison, paralysis, and sleep that are unrelated to attributes. This also includes paralysis and HP leak given by attribute burst, freezing, petrification, electric shock, caused by attribute accumulation. Level 1 and level 2 are linked to the accumulated value and can be cancelled. If you fight at the same distance as a melee class, it will be easier to respond quickly. Sagittarius, cooldown 70 seconds. For a certain period of time, fires a pursuit arrow when performing a normal attack. Pursuit arrows deal damage as normal attacks. Enemy being hit by a normal attack receives increased damage, increasing the damage received by 3%. Also, while the Sagittarius effect is active, weak attack multiplier for normal attacks and pursuit arrows will be increased by 60%. Ultimate skills, cooldown 70 seconds. Still, the ability to control the crowd is valuable in this game. Collecting enemies is particularly effective against enemies such as floating eyes, which don't move much. It can be a very powerful skill if it can be used in party with other classes, such as by combining it with the bind and stun of Aegis Fighter. Immobilize the enemy for a long time, or by combining it with Blitz Lancers. Class abilities. The only ability that increases damage is Follow Up, and its effect is small considering the conditions. Basically, one slot is stable as a medic. All recovery methods can be strengthened. And Battle Imagine, which has a recovery effect, can be used more effectively than other classes. Now you hit max level, time to review the end game. I hit max level, max gear, and feel nothing. That what you good at? In comment section people who has this class only. Start healthy discussion, share opinion, make better guide about this class.